The first slaves were brought to the New World in the 1500s. For the next 400 years, over 10 million more were captured in Africa and brought by force across the Atlantic. Slaves were packed into dirty, crowded ships and carried like cargo across the Atlantic Ocean. They were chained together and given little food and water. This dreadful journey took about 4 months. Many slaves died of disease and starvation. This African slave trade was banned in 1808, but slavery continued in the United States. In the American colonies, slaves were sold at slave markets. Many families were broken apart. Husbands and wives were separated. Children were taken from their mothers. Each time a slave was sold, he or she became the property of the owner.
The life of a plantation slave was a sad one, of forced labor, poverty, and ongoing humiliation. Under the law, slaves were considered to be the property of the plantation owner, just like his farm animals. If you were a slave, you could be sold at any time and your family torn apart. If the ongoing misery of your life made you want to run away, you knew you would be hunted down and, if caught, brought back to the plantation, where you might be whipped or forced to wear a slave's collar like this one, that had bells on it, so the owner's men could easily find you if you tried to escape again. There were 2 basic types of slaves on plantations. The luckiest were the house slaves, who took care of the owner's house and family, while the field slaves worked in the fields from sunrise to sunset with just one 15-minute break a day. To eat, slaves were given meager rations, mostly of cornmeal, pork, and molasses. And every year slaves received 1 new set of winter and summer clothes and a new blanket. Most slaves shared their small cabins with 10 to 12 people and slept on straw piled on a dirt floor. And so the lives of the slaves who did the work on plantations were filled with unending hardship, suffering, and poverty, in order that those who enslaved them could enjoy lives of comfort, luxury, and ease.